Maybe it does mean. Maybe it might.
Right.
Maybe it might.
This fight is so close. They're so closely knitted that you got to look for all the small pieces, because the small things are what going to add up to somebody winning the fight.
And fight a guy who might put him in a dog fight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody.
Skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career.
The thing I like about Teo's style, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just the guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right.
Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys.
Roy Jones Jr. and Max Kellerman sat down to break down Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, and the debate instantly went deeper than punches. They talked mindset, courage, and ambition. Both agreed on one thing: real champions don't pick easy fights. They face anyone, anytime, no matter the size, name, or risk. Max pointed out something crucial: Shakur has more to lose in this fight, but Teofimo has everything to gain if he wins big on boxing's biggest competitive stage.
The undefeated fighter. He's seen as the eventual pound-for-pound champ, potentially. But Teo has more to win. He has more to gain. So on the one hand, is there an advantage there where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy? On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He lost to Kambosos, and he came back from that. But oh my God, if he can pull it off. Like, if it's a close fight and Teo can keep it close and we're going into the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds, is there an advantage there given that situation?
He came back from that Kambosos fight, but in some way, the jury is still out on Teo a little bit, because I'm going to tell you why. On that card that was done in Times Square, he looked the best out of, with all due respect, out of a lot of people that did.
Roy Jones Jr. added an interesting comparison. He likened this matchup to Canelo versus Bud Crawford, where power cancels out power. But Shakur versus Teofimo is different. This is skill versus skill. No shortcuts. No excuses. Just pure boxing ability deciding who's better.
Good damn fight, too. See, that fight is skill for skill, as good as this fight. But they just haven't been around long enough to prove themselves yet. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career. That's how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career, because they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two. But they're still equal accomplished. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights.
Max Kellerman then highlighted one of Teofimo's most underrated weapons, his footwork. He explained how Teofimo glides around opponents, creates angles, controls distance, and slips out of danger with smart movement. It's not reckless aggression. It's controlled chaos guided by high ring IQ.
To be honest, the way I see it, I don't think that was the best version of Teo by a long shot. But even then, he was rallying in that fight late. He has championship heart. And the thing I like about Teo's style, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just the guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right. Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys. And I think about Buddy McGirt, Meldrick Taylor.
Yes.
Roy, where Meldrick had quick enough feet where if you were going to come right at Buddy McGirt, he could box you. But Meldrick could give him angles that were more difficult. I think of Roy Jones James.
Teofimo himself sounds calm and confident. He keeps repeating one thing: boxing is mental. According to him, his mindset is locked in. That confidence comes from endless repetition, discipline, focus, and muscle memory built in the gym. He believes he's fully prepared for whatever Shakur brings.
You're mentally prepared with the audience. Are you mentally going to be prepared with the certain punch selection? There's things that I have to maintain as well. Those are things that I have to work on within myself. It's a muscle. Like, think of it like condiments, right? You got your ketchup, you got your mustard, you got all these type of condiments, but you don't know if you like it or not unless you try it. And I think the same thing applies when it comes to getting prepared for certain things like this. Pretty much you have to try different things, different steps, different routines, different ways to see what really fits and works for you. And if they all fit and work for you, when is the right time to apply them? And it's a muscle memory that you have to create now. If you don't create now, it can harm you the day of the fight. The mentality part of it is going to really be the key moment for who wins that night. I'm that type of person, truly, that type of person that focuses on.
On the other side, Shakur Stevenson is just as locked in. No distractions. No shortcuts. Every day in camp is about sharpening skills, tightening movement, and preparing both mentally and physically. Shakur isn't chasing hype, he's building precision.
Oh, that's that chest. It's coming. It's coming.
That was 9 rounds of sparring. I ain't gonna tell y'all the minutes, but oh yeah, I'm preparing to my fullest. So putting in a lot of work and getting ready. Sure.
Word.
Training with Shakur is amazing. A guy like me been knowing Shakur for over 10 years now. The boxing world know that we brothers and we'll never fight each other. And just being around him in his camp, man, it's nothing but positive energy. And everybody wanting to be great. He's like my big brother, man. Like, he is my big brother, honestly. You know, he got all the wisdom in the world, especially when it comes to defense. So he's just making sure I stay sharp on my defense and not getting hit.
Wade, the host, made an important point. This fight is great for boxing. Both fighters had easier options, but they chose each other. That's what makes it special. High-stakes fights like this open doors. Bigger fights. Bigger opportunities. Even the fighter who loses can walk away bigger than before.
People don't realize about making best versus best fights. For the most part, only good can come from this. I'm going to knock on wood when I say that because I don't want to have one of these fights where we get a stinker performance or anybody. But when the pressure is this high, when the stakes are this high and you get this kind of opportunity, it will compound interest, even sometimes for the loser as well. This is why you look at MMA and you look at the UFC and they have guys with 10 losses, 5 losses, 12. Some people that you would never think are going to compete for a championship, and maybe they don't even compete for a championship, but they're in interesting fights that people want to watch. Doing fights like this makes Teofimo Lopez, makes Shakur Stevenson a bigger name and their type of stuff. Because what Teo's saying is true. Like, for him to go to the next level in his career, and for Shakur as well, they need to be tested, and they have been, especially Teo. Teo's taken some tough fight. Sandor Martin was a tough test as well. But my point is, this is how you get better. And this is why it frustrates me that guys won't take tough fights until they're 25-0 sometimes. And he's talking about Shakur's lateral movement, talking about how good he is as a boxer. This is, again, win or learn, in my opinion. Not that the stakes don't matter, not that wins and losses don't matter, but how are you ever going to really show your talent level if you aren't competing with the best? And Shakur has the same opportunity. This is Shakur's toughest test, no doubt about it. The Williams have paid a fight.